Healing crystals, skincare routines, knitting a sweater, fitting in jeans. With Katie and Sarah, no need to worry, you're on a lady journey.
Yeah, I think that's where I got mine. But we're so excited to be welcoming everybody to Lady Journey today.
Welcome to Lady Journey.
I'm choosing the stone for the dedication. Oh, okay. I'm really excited about this. This stone is for Russell. Thank you so much for joining our Patreon, Russell. You are so awesome, and you are an incredible person. Now, this is a piece of amber. Isn't this cool?
I love amber.
I love it. I don't know if it's real. I actually realized.
It looks like it's not.
It looks like it's not, right?
It could be acrylic.
It could be acrylic. I got this. Well, I remember when I was studying abroad in Russia.
I didn't know that you did that.
I did. I studied at the Moscow Art Theater, and we went to a street market, and I bought this, and I paid $35 for it, and I remember the woman laughing. And I thought she was laughing because I was bargaining her down, and I was like, my Russian is so good. Stolka stoit, which means how much is it?
Yeah.
And today I was looking at this as I was preparing, and I'm like, this is not real amber. How could it be? But I did look something up.
Because I think it's heavier.
But it
looks pretty, though.
It looks very nice. And this is not a referendum on Russell.
No.
in any way. You're an incredible person. And I read of something to do. You take 2 cups water, quarter cup salt, and you put the salt in the water, you mix it up, and if it floats, then it's real amber.
Okay.
So I want to try it on the break for the Patreon. Maybe we'll do a Patreon video. And or maybe we can grab some salt at the bodega or something. But anyway, it does look great. But now that I am looking at it even now, I'm like, how on earth did I think that this was real? And I took this around to my friends. I'm like, the deal of a lifetime has arrived.
I got this in Russia.
In Moscow. Which now you cannot. I was like, I always wanted to go back, and now I don't.
I would hold off for a little bit.
Yeah, I really don't. So thank you, Russell. Thank you so much. And if anybody wants to join our Patreon, we would love that.
We have so many bonus features on there. I feel like we do a lot for our Patreon compared to others. And I love comparing myself to others.
Oh, I do. It's my toxic spiral trigger. And we also would love it if you guys would follow us on YouTube. Just give us a little subscribe. We're posting clips. We're posting the video. And give us a 5-star review on the Apple iTunes. We have been asking for reviews, and we only have 108, and we really want some more.
Yeah, and I feel like I keep reading the same one every day when I go refresh.
Yeah, and it's a very nice one.
Fortunately, thank you.
If you send us a 5-star review, or if you subscribe to our YouTube channel and you send us an email proving it to us at ladyjourneypodcast@gmail.com, we will send you a personal thank you message. I can't think of anything else. I was like, well, I'll send you a gift. I don't know what it will be. Send me your address. I will send you a surprise box.
I will find something in here.
Yes. It's something from Sarah's home.
I will.
Where our studio is.
I'll sell you something. I'll give you something that I'm not selling on Poshmark.
Yes. Oh, yes. And send a picture of yourself, and then we will choose the gift for you.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, today we have a really awesome guest, and we interviewed him via Zoom. He is one of my dear friends, and he's somebody who he is a comic. He's been performing for years and years from the Detroit scene originally. He had a background as a teacher, and so a lot of his comedy has to do with his experience teaching kindergarten, and he's absolutely hysterical. He ended up breaking big. He blew up from this hilarious video. I will post it. I'll post it in the show notes. He's April Fool's Day, right? He's pranking his 5th grade students with a fake spelling test, and it is so funny. And he's like, the word is spabasberry. And you can hear the kids in the back, and they're like, he's like, SP, and they're like, what? Oh. So it's so funny. And so he went on Ellen from that, and he's
God.
Yeah, he's been like climbing, and he is such an amazing performer. He's such a like truly wonderful person.
It was really fun talking to him.
I so adore him, and I've been opening for him on the road a little bit. And I just can't get enough. I cannot get enough. I'm fully obsessed with this man.
Yes, and I'm excited to see he is remodeling a home he just bought.
He's remodeling a home, so we're talking decor, we're talking acupuncture.
What to wear on stage.
Yeah, we got a lot of good stuff in here. So everybody, please enjoy our interview with Joe Dombrowski.
I was a teacher, an elementary teacher for 10 years, and every child lies. There's not one that tells the truth. It's developmentally appropriate for a kid to lie and like learn that. But sometimes they're so good at it that I saw you cut her hair. I saw it. And they're just lying so well that you're back in your teacher chair like, bitch, am I crazy? Like, did this happen? Like, that is the craziest experience ever because they're so good at it.
Yeah. Oh my God. Do you guys lie in your day-to-day life? Do you do it?
No.
When I worked in property management, and we lied all the time to the point that I was like, I don't understand why lying is considered a negative trait, because I felt like if to hire someone at our place of work, I was like, if you put down, I'm an excellent liar, I feel like that would be a hireable person for us.
Yeah, because it means, it's improv at a certain point.
Every job that I've had, every job that I've ever had, you are somehow lying.
Yeah.
Give me another one.
Like, okay, so the property management, it would just be like, where are our reports? We need our monthly financial report. And I'm like, oh, well, there's a new tax law that we're trying to change into effect, because we were so backed up, and you had to do that kind of lying on a daily basis. People would come in to complain about stuff, and you weren't really allowed to come in to complain because it's just weird and you have to go through the process, but they would be so annoyed about it that they would come and they'd be like, where's David, the head guy of the company? And we would be like, he's not here, but he was upstairs. Like it's stuff like that. And then when you waitress, also like, why is our food late? And you're like, oh, there was like a huge to-go order.
Oh, right.
That's they're little lies, but they're just to keep everything like at peace.
Yeah. That is a great thing to put on your resume, like special skill. I will lie for you. I will cover your ass.
That is really good. That's a really good one.
When I was
it's hard. I don't like lying, but then you have to do it.
I do lie. I just find myself doing it. One thing is like, if people ask me if I've seen a movie, I don't know, this is like a function of my social anxiety. I'll just be like, I loved it. And then they're like, want to chat about it. And then I'm like, I know, that was weird. They're like, was it? I thought it was really emotional. I'm like, I know.
I've never even seen Love After Lockup.
Yeah. Have you seen Moon River? It's always like an obscure film too, from like 89.
I love it.
Oh my God. But when I was tour guiding, though, I would kind of, this is more like, I would say an improvisational lie.
Shut up. You lied about New York.
Well, no, I would just lie about my own life. Because I had this at the time I was single and I really kind of like wanted to be married. So I had like a fake engagement ring and I'd be like planning my Christmas wedding. And so I would just like chat about it, and it was just so fun. And people would like, they loved it too. They'd be like, oh my gosh, like what's your boyfriend do? I'm like, oh, he works in heating and air conditioning, but we're looking at buying a home. So we're really excited. And
whenever I'm in New York and I eat anywhere, I always am like, this server is just practicing.
Yeah. Because they're all actors probably. They're like, hi. What can I get for you?
I was at karaoke last night on accident, not on purpose. And this guy, he sang Any Dream Will Do from Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. Bitch, this man thought he was Donny Osmond. It was like it's that restaurant, that New York. What's that restaurant called?
Stardust Diner.
He was that in real life in Seattle. I was like, honey, you're on the wrong side of the country for this type of behavior.
That is so funny. I love it when people like go too hard at karaoke. You're like, oh, bless your heart. You've been looking forward to this.
I know. That's where you kind of want to lie and go to every karaoke outside of LA and New York and pretend that you're a very big talent manager. I love what you did up there. Here's my card. Let's have lunch.
Have you ever had people say that to you? Because I feel like I've had people say that to me, but I'm like, really? I think they're doing it as not as a lie, but they can't do anything for you, but they want to think that they can. They want to feel themselves. So they're like, send me your pilot. I'm like, I'm sorry, what are you, Steven Spielberg? Like, let's
like, what are you gonna do with that?
Read it.
Yeah. Or sit on it for months and then ghost you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Wow, I love our profession.
Yeah. I mean, I've kind of done that before. Somebody sent me I think it was a packet, and I just was like, I'd love to. And I generally do read people's packets and give notes if they ask. But this one, I just couldn't get to it. And then I felt so bad when I would see her.
Who was it? Was it me?
I think you're one, but her name is Andrea, and she's doing really well acting in LA. So I think she's fine.
Good.
But sometimes you're just like, I can't, my intention is there, but I just can't get to it.
It is good to know though, that if you send somebody something and you think they forget about it, probably they actually think of it every time they see you and feel bad.
Yeah.
They're probably like, oh no.
Yeah.
I had a question for Joe. I wanted to ask you. Okay. So Joe, I know you're doing so many creative things. You're like on the road. You're always like working. So I wanted to ask for our journeyers, like, do you have a wellness routine? And like, how do you creatively replenish yourself? And how do you self-care?
I'm the worst at it.
Really?
Oh my God, I'm so bad at it. I feel comfortable working.
Yeah.
So bad, right?
Yeah.
But recently we moved, we found a house, we got a house, we moved. And let me tell you what, there's this big festival that happens, a music festival in Seattle. And one of my friends texted me and he was like, are you gonna be at Block Party? I was like, I'm taking pictures of my flowers. Like, no. And that is my new thing. I'm super into going to the nursery, spending way too much money and planting all these plants. I'm specifically into cone flowers right now. If we know what that is.
I love it.
Do you know what echinacea is?
Yes. Do you take to get better?
That's what cone flowers are. So I'm over here like growing these beautiful flowers, and I'm going to have an immune system that is like of a horse.
Are you eating the echinacea? Do you make tea?
I'm about to. It's currently in flower. So we need for the petals to fall off and for the plant to dry before I can make tea. But I will be making tea.
Dr. Quinn, medicine woman.
Honestly. Yes. Oh, and I've done 3 new things that I'm super into. 1, I take vitamins now.
Oh, yes.
2, I do chiropractic care and acupuncture. Have you guys ever done acupuncture?
Oh, I want to get into it. What's your acupuncture? Tell us how you got into acupuncture and tell us what it's like, because I have always wanted to do it, but I'm afraid of the needles.
I have a weak back. I throw it out all the time. Katie, you know, I'm like super alive on stage and I'll like throw out my back like all the time. So I'm like done with it. Stretching's not helping, fitness isn't helping, nothing is helping. So I'm like, okay, one too many people have told me to try acupuncture. So I did. And I went to this acupuncturist that was referred to me, and super knowledgeable, super great. It doesn't hurt. You don't even feel it. They like barely go into your skin, except for the ones in my ass. The ones in my ass, she really pushes down in there. You know, because your boy's got a fat ass.
Oh, okay. Where in the ass? They're not going to the whole region, right?
No, they're not going to the hole.
That's sensitive. That's a sensitive area.
Not in the hole. She did have to spread a little cheek to get one specific one in there.
Okay.
However, mostly they're on the exterior, the meaty part, if you will.
Okay.
The meat, the rump roast.
And then sometimes this part's kind of crazy. I was not expecting this. Sometimes she will put little electrode clips to connect all of them. They literally go from my ears to the bottom of my feet, the needles.
Wow.
And
Okay.
she puts these electrodes, they're all clipped in, and then she turns this like electricity on, and your whole body is just like, rah, rah, rah. It's a maze.
Wow.
Oh, wow. I got to
Mhm.
try this.
It's fantastic.
That sounds really cool.
The best sleep you ever get.
Yeah. So
Oh,
how
I
do you
like
feel
that.
like after you leave? Are you just like pain free or?
No, it takes a little while to build up. So I've done 3 now, and I'm just starting to really truly feel the effects of it. But you do immediately feel just like rested and calm, which is, I was
Ah.
surprised about that, because I actually went in thinking this is totally bullshit. Like, I was definitely a skeptic and I didn't want it to work. And then I walked out and I was like, I feel good. I feel
Yeah.
pretty.
Oh, I love that.
I have not heard negative things about acupuncture.
Same.
And
Yeah.
I've heard negative things about other stuff. So
Mhm.
that's a test that lets you know
Yeah.
it's okay to do acupuncture.
My uncles did acupuncture to quit smoking, and they like stopped smoking for 30 years. Isn't that
That's
crazy?
fast.
That's
Fascinating.
unbelievable. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's so interesting, the traditional Chinese medicine and how there are so many other areas that just aren't addressed in Western medicine at all, like the energy and it's like the meridians in the body. I think
Yep.
it's so fascinating.
You
Now
gotta align that chakra, girl.
you have to align it. Well, I've heard a few intense things about chiropractic. Like
Same.
people have had like, I've heard really bad experiences, really good experiences.
Tell me about the bad ones.
Well,
Is this all from TikTok?
Well, I know what you're thinking of. The TikTok one is like,
I don't. I need it all.
Oh no, the TikTok ones are horrifying. Don't take it with a grain of salt, but they'll be like, my husband went to the chiropractor. 2 days later, he was dead.
No.
Yes. Basically,
Stop.
like,
Wait. No.
They were using like the Theragun. They would like use the Theragun on the spine, and I
got the
guess
Theragun on the spine.
you can't use it on the neck spine because something can happen. Again, not a doctor. I don't want the journeyers to think that I'm giving medical advice, but it can cause a slip disc, which can be like a huge issue.
There's one of like a neurosurgeon being like, this is my top 5 things not to do as a neurosurgeon, and one is chiropractor stuff because of the neck stuff. Because I also think it's some of them do the like.
I got the.
I would get that. I used to go when I have scoliosis and I had a lot of bad hip pain.
Yeah.
I would get chiropractic for that when I was in college, but I ended up having a flip out because I would have to wait so long in the waiting room. And I was just like, what am I doing? Like, I'm here for 2 hours. I didn't flip out in the waiting room, but just to my mom privately.
Yeah.
But, Mom, who she listens to the podcast. So thank you, Mom. Love you. Shout out.
Mom, why is my spine bent? Thank you for these lyrics.
What I gather in chiropractic and what I see like on Pinterest, because I follow a lot of like stretching stuff on Pinterest and it's from chiropractors, like that kind of stuff is good, but it's like the spine stuff that when they get into that, like you have to be careful.
I'm new to Pinterest. How do I find stretching stuff on Pinterest? Because that did tickle my fancy.
Well, yeah, I just put in like how to relieve lower back pain, and you end up, that becomes your algorithm for a while. And then, so there's like several well-known, they're just well-known because they're online. Like apparently everybody, once you turn 30, you will just become adverse to these 2 doctors on YouTube because they teach you how to stretch your sciatic nerve. Because I guess once you turn 30, you're just dealing with sciatica.
I think I know those doctors.
Yeah.
But the other thing with the chiropractor that you have to watch out for is like, I've known people that were like, my boyfriend in college, his mom was obsessed with her chiropractor. She had fibromyalgia.
And then she fucked him.
Well, maybe
That happens too.
Carol. Well, she would always like every time we like saw her, she would just have like a new like weird juice or like a weird like powder that the chiropractor gave her. And my grandmother would do this too, where it was like the office, like the waiting room of the chiropractor's office is like a holistic gift shop. And you're like, maybe these bells, maybe the sound bowl will help my hip. And it's like, I don't know about the echinacea juice or like the aloe, like salve. A lot of snake oils in there. There was a lot of snake oils going around.
Have you ever been to a sound bath?
I actually have. I did one at my friend's yoga retreat, and it was hysterical because I did it with my two best friends, and my other best friend, she just does not suffer nonsense. She just can't. And so she was laying next to me holding my hand. And the woman who was running the sound bath had been chatting with us before about how like she was very against the vaccine. We were like, okay, should we keep our masks on? It was outside. We were like, okay, like that's a red flag. And then we're laying, with our eyes closed, and she was going around doing the sound bath, but she was also coming around to everyone's face and being like, grab my hand. She was just digging into my hand with her nails, and just laughing hysterically, but like that silent laughter of like, I don't want this woman to think like I'm mocking her. I want her to think I'm into it. Yeah, church laughing, exactly. Where you're like,
oh God, I did it here in Seattle. A friend dragged me to it, and I have a very I get into hippy dippy shit. Like if someone's like, try this powder, I'm like, okay, that's me. So I did do a sound bath, but at the sound bath, it was in a room completely made of bricks of Himalayan sea salt. And they pumped sea salt in through the air. And a man shined a flashlight up to the vent so you could see that the salt was being pumped into the air. And then there was the woman with the bowls, and she would do the sound. Now, before she started, she goes, and I might sing a little. And I'm over here like, great. She's going to give us the Copper Bowls version of Mary Had a Little Lamb. No, singing in sound bath terms, she just out of nowhere goes, oh, I couldn't hold it in. I flipped upside down in my little bed and just laughed. It was very much a lot.
How do you go through life not knowing that somebody will die of laughter?
I'm
going to die of laughter at the chiropractor.
Oh my God, this is too hilarious.
Right.
Oh, I have a follow-up question for the acupuncture, because again, fear of needles. But would you say, for example, when you get the vaccine, okay, or any vaccination, that hurts, right? But does acupuncture feel like that at all?
It truly feels like nothing, except some spots it feels like a tiny little prick. This is crazy, but in my ears, she puts them in my ears, and you can kind of feel them in your ears. But everywhere else, even my ass, she goes deep, and it's just there's nothing. My ass looks like a porcupine when this bitch is done with me. It is crazy, and I don't feel any of it. And then after she puts them all in, they're just lining your back. I look like a stegosaurus, and she takes a heat lamp, puts it over your body, and sometimes the electrodes, and just lets you sit there for 30 minutes. It's great.
Knowing me, that's when my birth control alarm would be going off. It'd be like,
right.
Excuse me.
I always do get scared to move when I'm there, but because I always think, first of all, I'm very secure in this table, right? Yeah. And my head goes to this place what if I rolled over and fell onto the ground? How is that going to happen? It's probably not. But that's where my brain goes. Your
mind travels when you have no external stimulus. I had that recently where it's my mind just goes to an insane place immediately where I'm what if this place is on fire right now?
Yeah.
It is.
Now I have had the acupressure, like the moxibustion, where like cupping. I've had that, and I only had it one time, and I have to say, like, it did feel amazing, but I think she left it on way too long because my entire back swelled up. My back looked like a tray of muffins coming out of the oven. Like it was just little puffy circles. And I was like to my roommate, I'm like, do I call 911? What was happening to me? That night I just slept. I felt like somebody beat the shit out of me. And I was just sleeping, and then my back was just, and then I had a date like a couple days later, and it was like, oh, like, are we gonna make out? And I'm like, don't touch my back.
I have muffins.
Don't touch my muffins.
Muffin back.
I know what you're talking about too. I got cupped one time as well. I did not have muffin back, but it did bruise like badly.
The bruising, they say that the bruising is like the bad blood coming to the surface and the impurities are getting removed, but I'm like, I don't know about that.
I don't believe that.
It's just bruising.
Yeah, feels like maybe my back was damaged during this.
Do you ever see those, I don't know what it is, but like you put some powder in some water and you put your feet in the water and then the water will turn black, and they're like, that's all your toxins, right?
Yeah.
Well, I watched someone like myth bust that, and they're like, no, this chemical over time will just turn colors once it's activated. They like threw a potato in and it turned the same color. It was crazy.
That's great.
Yeah.
I always wanted to get that that pedicure, like the fish pedicure, where
I
you put
love
your
it.
feet and the
think it
fish
would
like
tickle.
nibble.
It does.
I think it would tickle too. But I really love fish. I heard it's like actually kind of
Bad.
kind of bad because it's like any pedicure. We've talked about this a million times on the podcast, but you can get infected. You don't want to be like putting your foot, your cut.
No, it is funny. It's funny because it's like you go to the doctor and you explain to what you did, and they're like, "Are you stupid?"
Right.
Well, I was
and I paid lots of money.
Yeah. I was in Thailand for my honeymoon and I wanted to get little fish to nibble the skin off of my feet. And it only cost 50 cents. It seemed like a deal.
Do you guys remember when there was a time, maybe they still have this law in New York, you can find a shady place, I'm sure. Do you remember a time where you would get a pedicure and they would take that cheese grater and they would just fucking dig into your heel and get like, it looked like thick chunks of Parmesan was just coming off your feet. I miss when that was allowed.
I feel like I would always immediately, they would just take off way too much skin. And then I'd just be like, my foot stinging in the water, but I'm afraid to say anything.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to be rude. That's me. Like anytime. One of the reasons I don't get massages anymore is because I would get it like so hard, but then I'm like, I don't want her to feel bad or like, so I'd just be like, it's fine. And then
uncomfortable.
Like that. They're like, do you feel relaxed? I'm like, I feel that was so, and meanwhile, like it hurt the entire time.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
I know. I feel like I would just let somebody lightly molest me under the guise of wellness and be like, that was great. Thank you.
Yes. I had that one time too, where they're like, "Oh, just getting in the butt cheeks," and you're like, "No, I don't want it."
What's going on down there that I'm stressed? Like,
yeah, I'm really stressed inside of my pussy. I hold up my tension there. It is true though. It's like I just get afraid in those situations because I'm always afraid of coming off as like a Karen or something, or, just like, how dare you?
Excuse me. Yeah.
Excuse me. Meanwhile, then I'm just like letting like something horrific happen. I'm like letting someone steal from the store because I'm like, well, I didn't want to bother anyone.
I was a little bit of a Karen the other day. I felt really bad and then also didn't. I had a reservation for this restaurant with Morgan, and I love this place, but in Seattle, don't eat outside, especially if it's on the street. I've seen too much riffraff happen, and no. So we went to the restaurant to check in, and she's like, okay, follow me. And she started walking outside. I was like, oh, do you have a table inside? Which they did. And she's like, no. And I see in the notes that you signified that you would like to sit outside. And I just looked at her and I was like, no. And she's like, she just read it off that no. She's like, let me fix this. And then she like scrambled, but I was like, no, Anna, you're not going to pull that with me.
No, and not today, Anna. Not today, Anna.
Mm-mm.
Every now and then you need to be a Karen. There's a comic, Abby Rosenquist, that would make me laugh. She's like, as much as white women get made fun of for complaining, sometimes somebody does need to turn down the AC.
That's good.
Abby, that's hilarious. But no, it's true though. And then sometimes like, for example, like if they are playing music that's really loud and you're like, God, I wish they would turn the music down, but I'm not going to say something. And then someone else says something, you're like, a hero. There is a hero in here. Thank you.
Yeah.
Or like, I feel that too. Like when, you overcommit socially, like, oh, do you want to get brunch? I'm like, I love to any day, any time of the day or night. Just, and then like the moment comes and I'm like,
yeah, dreading it. And then both parties are playing chicken, being like, chicken. Somebody's got to cancel.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah, it's brutal.
No. So Joe, I also wanted to ask you about your dog. How's your doggy doing?
He's right in front of me. You want to see him real quick?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mac, here.
Are you in a classroom right now?
That was so cute. I'm in this. You
gotta try a race board, and you've got the wood half.
I love the wood paneling. That's fun.
This is so the house that we bought is trapped in 1969.
So
it is wood paneled floor to ceiling. This is what will be in my podcast studio, but it is not renovated.
I like it.
This is a cork board. That is my whiteboard. It is a calendar because I brought it from my classroom. And this is my hippo that used to have plants in it. So it does look like an old school classroom. Mac, here. Ready for this?
Yes. Yeah. So cute.
Oh my
goodness. Hi.
That's a classic dog.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, he's so
classic
big.
Dog.
I know. I have a joke in my set that goes, I'm a golden retriever dad, so you know what that means. I'm better than you.
You are.
Such a
He's
good boy.
So cute.
They're great
love
dogs.
Him. I love you.
That's my fantasy of like living outside of New York, of like having a pet and getting to like actually walk it and just enjoy like iced coffee, walking the dog. I mean, here it's like you're just like getting up at the crack of dawn and going down 6 flights of steps and then like picking up poop in a little bag. And then you're like, okay.
Yeah. I walked by a dead cat in one of the project's yards, and then there was shit in a box on my way home.
No,
like this is awful.
Being a pet
it's
owner
tragic.
in New York, yeah. And if you have a dog, then your dog's like eating the corpse. You're like, no.
Back down.
So wait, Joe, I feel like the last time I talked to you, you were like, we're looking at buying a house, and then now here you are. So you got it. You guys already moved, and you have a house and everything.
Yes, and I have pro tips for you.
Okay, let's hear the pro tips.
First of all, buy a house on Memorial Day weekend. Because we put in our offer, we were used to getting outbid by, there was like 20s of offers on these houses. For 2 years, we didn't get a house. We put in on Memorial Day, there were 3, got the house. Also, we saw the house during an open house, and I said, fuck it. And I waited until it was very busy, and I went into one of the bedrooms, and I said very loudly, is this where the old woman died?
Yes.
And we got the house.
Genius.
And we got the house. Got the house. Got the house.
That's amazing. That is an amazing pro tip. Throw the house under the bus.
Yes.
Is this where they were keeping the kids?
Yeah. I remember this room from the news. Yeah. Very that. Yeah, and we got the house and it's
my gosh.
fantastic. And then, so
great.
we're still in Seattle. We're in like a northern part of Seattle, so it's very suburban.
Ooh, love it.
Yeah, you would think this. I feel like I'm
Love
the queen
it.
of the suburbs right now. My whole street is just golden retrievers. Lots of Costco memberships over
Are
here.
you just
Yeah.
like driving to Target with a latte? It's so
I sure am.
romantic. Oh, I love
I
it.
sure am.
I
It's
love
like
this.
great. We're close to like a Home Goods. Like this is
Yes.
literally. I did not think
It's
I was going to be
living.
this girl,
You are
but I'm her.
living. Now,
I'm
are you
her.
guys?
I
Are you?
I always thought I was going to be a city person. Oop, I lost
I
you.
know. I always felt that for myself too. But now it's like, oh, you're a city person, and then you're like, well, now I'm close to 40, so
Yeah,
like let's be real.
I love it.
I need my frappuccino, and I need to walk my dog.
Yeah.
That's me. That's
So,
me.
Joe, are you gonna like renovate? Are you renovating, or what are you doing?
We are renovating, and we got a wonderful surprise the other day. We're gonna do hardwood floors all upstairs. Our whole upstairs is carpeted because it's the 70s, and like this house is literally the 70s. So we had a guy come look at the hardwood floors. So we want to do hardwood floors throughout. And he's like, did you check under the carpet? We did. And he goes, did you? And we're like, yeah, we did. He's like, can I just try? We have raw, never touched hardwood floors under the entire house.
Oh
Because
my
back then they used to just
God.
carpet over hardwood.
Yeah, things
that
were
wild?
built with good materials.
That's
Yes,
amazing. I love the character of the condescending rug guy.
yeah.
He knows.
Did you?
They know.
He
Yeah.
said he knew. He's like, did you?
Lose the attitude, rug guy. Come on.
Yeah. Yeah. But it is a total, like, it's a total renovate. Things are in great shape, but it is, you could film a movie here and it would be a perfect period piece, like right now.
Oh, I love
which
that.
is cool. We're keeping some accents of it, but not
I
all
would,
of it.
because I do like 70s decor. Like
Yeah.
I
Yes.
follow Instagram accounts that are just like home journals from the 70s, and I love wicker.
I love wicker. I love
Lots
some
of
wicker.
plants. I love a carpeted bathroom, like with the
Ooh.
tub.
I love like the hanging plants with like the macrame or
I love
Yeah.
crane.
Love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I love how carpeted bathroom. Sarah, I didn't know this about you.
I'm
This is a shock.
it is weird when you say that you're going to get rid of carpet. I get it if it's from the 70s, but I'm actually into carpet in a weird way. It's quiet. When I go to my
quiet,
parents,
it's cozy.
it's cozy. Yeah. Especially in the colder months. There's something, if you can keep it clean, then I like it. But if you can just
Yeah.
get like a big rug, then that's fine.
You're
too.
Yeah.
I'm currently, I don't even want to know what diseases are in this. In this room, in this office right now, it is 1.5-inch multicolored shag carpet.
Oh,
Yeah.
shag.
There's
Yeah.
like Ebola in this for sure.
How did they vacuum back then? Because it's just long hair
Impossible.
that
It's
you're
impossible to clean it. You have to get
Brushed
the
it.
rug doctor in like once a year, and who knows
Yeah.
even how to work that? You're just like soaping it.
I have to show you. Check this
Oh
out.
yes,
Please.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
You're right. It's a long-haired carpet.
It
It's a
looks
wig.
so plush. Yeah, she's beautiful.
She's great. she's a lace front for sure. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's our house. But so like some of the things we're gonna keep are you know what? Back to the question of what my self-care is, it's redoing this house. I love it.
Yeah.
We have a full stone fireplace.
Ooh,
Okay.
gorgeous.
And some of the
Classic.
stones are like sticking out pretty far, so they're actually shelves. Christmas in this house is going to be amazing.
Oh my
We're-
gosh.
We have wood paneling throughout upstairs, and we're actually going to repurpose it to remake a ceiling in the basement out of that wood paneling.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Okay.
pretty cool.
Is your basement ceiling drop ceiling?
I don't know. It looks like drop ceiling, but there's not those like in between
Panels?
parts. Yeah.
Okay. That's
Yeah,
what
I
I
don't-
have, and it's heinous.
I'm scared to touch it because it
Yeah.
looks like asbestos for sure.
You've got drop ceiling.
But there's no like thing in between.
There's
what
you
I'm
can
talking
see you can see a slight grid though.
So these should be individual tiles, you're saying?
They look like tiles. Can they pop up?
They can't. No.
Oh, okay. Maybe there's something above it.
Maybe. I'm scared.
Maybe hardwood ceilings.
Yeah, you know what's above it? Mesothelioma.
Oh my gosh. Well, Joe, it was so awesome to have you on Lady Journey. We adore you. You are so funny.
Yeah, so fun.
You're so knowledgeable about acupuncture. Thank you for sharing your journey with us.
Oh my God, I loved it.
I also want to keep us updated on your home journey because I love good before and afters.
Yes,
Ooh.
absolutely. I know.
Yeah.
We have to have you on again next year in this space in the exact location to see the after. And where can everybody
Done deal.
Where can everybody find you, Joe? Do you want to share your socials?
Yeah, you can find me on any social media at Mr. D times 3, MRD TIMES 3. And I don't know when this comes out, but August 1st, I am announcing my fall winter tour. So if you're interested in any of that, you can get tickets at mrdtimes3.com. I would love to see some Lady Journey friends and fans there.
Absolutely. Thank you again, and Lady Journey.